Hello brothers and sisters of the interweb, Steel Phoenix here, and welcome to another Theory Thursday. Vlad's here again to join me.
I don't know what we're gonna do, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
I already gave him the link, he's lying.
Yeah, I totally am.
This theory was sent in by Livy Lou 10 months ago, back when I did my original Ozpin semblance theory, and this is the other side of the theory, which is Ozpin being able to control time.
Or manipulate it.
Yeah, manipulate
in some fashion.
And basically it starts off with her showing that Cinder in the finale, or was it the right before the finale, or was it the finale episode?
It was the finale episode.
Launched her glass at Ozpin, and he seemed to react and inhumanly.
He was basically Neo from the Matrix, where he just did all the like swooshy motions, but he didn't really move.
And he actually destroyed the stuff rather than just dodging it. So she came along with the idea that he could control time in some fashion. And the idea behind that was that it was either that, or he was able to move as fast as RWBY, or had a similar semblance to RWBY, which, due to him being a important character, it wouldn't be any point in having him have the same semblance as the main character.
Unless that is the mark of all true protagonists, which is unlikely.
Another supporting thing with this was a similar thing to supporting that Ozpin was immortal, and that was the color names. Ozpin does not have a color name, however everyone else does, meaning that he was alive before the idea of naming their children after colors.
Does Glinda have a color name? What is her color?
I think it has something to do with gold, I feel.
I have no idea. Somebody can tell me later, angrily in the comments. Just call me stupid while you do it, please.
Yeah, I don't have the wiki open, so I can't actually tell which one it is.
Just do it. Make my day. Oscar might also not, because we don't know his last name.
He probably would, though. We just haven't heard his last name. It might be on the wiki by now or something, because the wiki people skim through every nanometer of every episode to put stuff into the wiki.
Pine. His last name is Pine.
So it would probably be wood and brown and green.
Where did they find this name? Jeez, wiki people, you are the true heroes. I don't know where this came from.
Look up Glinda then, but I'm going to continue on with reading the theory while you're doing that.
Okay.
And she goes on to do the quote, "During the Great War, one side destroyed art as part of their goal of suppressing all forms of self-expression. In defiance, those who opposed this tyranny began naming their children after fundamental aspect of art, color. This symbolic gesture demonstrated that neither they nor the generations to come would tolerate such oppression. The latter group eventually prevailed, and the tradition of naming children after colors continues to the present day." And that was obviously in Volume 1 during their being brought into Beacon. Ozpin brought that up. And she actually did the math on this, and he would be at least 80 years old in order to be from the time that not everyone is being named after colors.
Glinda is apparently meaning fair-skinned.
So it'd be like white, it'd be Weiss. Or, I guess?
It doesn't have any meaning, like, it doesn't have a translation for that, like where the language came from, but apparently. that's about as close as it's really seeming to get. So,
And
Also-
then it goes. The theory that I was given was drifted off track for a bit, talking about how Salem, or not Salem, but Cinder and Ozpin could be related. And
literally, that's just like when
that's similar to the theory of Yatsu and the Lieutenant are the same person.
or the Winter is totally Ruby's mom.
Oh, I always heard the Ruby's mom is Salem one.
Yeah, that was just friggin' Corey kept saying that.
She openly says that her theory is incomplete because she doesn't have an explanation for the force field bubble that he also used when he was fighting up against Cinder in the finale of Volume 3. But she brings up that she can't explain the bubble theory, or the bubble shield. And she also brings up that Ozpin's staff, cane, has a handle on it. And she thinks that it might be either the thing that allowed him to create the bubble shield, or it's similar to Weiss's sword, and pulling on the lever will change whatever dust he's using on it. He just doesn't have a visible cylinder on it, it's all inside of it.
It would kind of fit with his theme to have his staff control all the like green glowy effects that just kind of happen around him in some form of dust, like force fields and hitting stuff. Basically the Green Lantern,
Also,
but like a staff
be
instead of a ring.
fitting with Ozpin, or the Wizard of Oz, Ozpinhead, actually
Yeah.
used everything inside his little box to control stuff outside, so his little cane would be like all the mechanisms inside the little box.
It's like one of those fancy Swiss watches. It's got so many gears it winds itself while you just swing your arm naturally.
And his main theme is gears.
Not necessarily clocks though, so
He had a
I
clock
don't
tower,
know
though.
if. Yeah, but there's no clock on it, is there?
I don't recall.
All I know is that there's a frick ton of gears friggin' everywhere. Maybe he's Swiss.
Maybe.
He's actually just a man from Switzerland who gained magical powers.
Any thoughts
Yeah.
on the end of the theory?
I would like to point out that if his power was time manipulation, it might not have, or if it's a semblance, it would have the same drawbacks as the other semblances, and to kind of explain why he couldn't use it the entire time, because time manipulation, is a huge thing that could basically win almost any fight. So
And
he
it would be
probably
a huge
wouldn't
drain on
have.
energy.
Yeah, so that's probably why he wasn't able to utilize it the entire time with Cinder, and not just, beat her into the ground in like 5 seconds. Well, technically, like 5 minutes for him, but 5 seconds for her,
Even though he was able to poke her pretty fast.
Poke, poke, poke.
So that's it for this theory. Like if you liked, the link to this theory page is in the description below, and if you also want to look at the other side of this theory about them being related, which is a theory for a later day, you can also read that. It's in the same theory. And also follow them on Tumblr if you have a Tumblr and are interested in RWBY theories.
And by the way, we may have come up with like 3 or 4 different theories while discussing this one. Anyway, if you want to catch more theories on this, keep your eyes open on Thursdays.
Subscribe to become part of the Phoenix Brotherhood, and as usual, thank you, have a nice day. This is Steel Phoenix signing off.
Bye.